I know what you're thinking. That's not a Christmas tree, that's a toy. But hear me out and you'll understand why a small Christmas tree like this one might make sense for you or anyone else. In the past, I've had real Christmas trees and I've also had artificial ones. But this time around, I have a small one. And one of the reasons why you might want to buy a small Christmas tree is because you either don't have space for a large one or you don't have space to store an artificial one, or you're a little bit of a cheapskate like me who don't want to spend 60 or 75 pounds on a real tree that will cost more than the food that you will eat on Christmas Day. So I have chosen this tree, which is white, and I've decorated it with this teal colored tinsel. So instead of a white and blue theme, I have like a white and teal colored theme, and I really like the teal color because it's a little bit closer to green rather than having tinsel that's Smurf blue or midnight blue. And what I've also done is that I've bought matching decoration that has basically given a small Christmas tree additional height. So it's a 4 foot tree, which is roughly 122 centimeters. And I've put this on this TV unit that I bought purely for storage. And now the height of the entire installation is roughly 5'5". So that is a very clever way of making a small tree look a lot bigger. And to spruce it up a bit more, I've added these chocolate coins. Just adds a bit more glam. And I also have a couple of unique baubles here as well. And here we have Elsa, or is it Anna? I always forget. And then I have a H that lights up as well, and a deer. And to make it look a bit more luxurious, I've also added this thing that looks a bit like a hair clip, but there's leaves on it and an acorn as well. But the most important thing is that this entire setup costs only £20. Yep, you heard it right, only £20. So the tree itself is £7.50 now in B&Q, which is roughly $9 or $10. And then I got a multi-pack of these teal colored baubles, and that was about £3 or £4. These are a little bit smaller than the ones that will go on a full-sized tree. And then the tinsel itself was really cheap, £1.50. And there's I think one that goes around the tree, and then one that extends out towards the gifts. And what's great about this tree is that it only takes 5 minutes to set up, which is a big deal. So it makes it less of a hassle to set things up. And you don't end up procrastinating with getting ready for Christmas. And it also only takes 5 minutes to put it back into the packaging. So that's fantastic as well. And what I've done is that I've used the gifts as decoration. I've used the gifts to give the tree a bit more presence and more weight. Hence why I specifically bought wrapping paper that goes with the theme. And I also spend a bit more money on premium paper as well that's shiny, because the shiny paper just gives it a perceived sense of luxury, and it just makes everything look sparkly. It reflects more of the colors of the tinsels and everything else. Oh, geez, I'm coughing. I just ate a granola bar right before filming this. But I'm really pleased with it. And I also let the kids choose some decoration for it as well. My son, he chose these droplets, which are quite cool. And yeah, and also what I love about it is that it's different. I've had green trees before with red decoration, and this time I went for something very, very different. And the beauty of this is that I've spent so little money on it that if I ever want to get a big tree, there's not going to be any sense of remorse because I can always take this tree and put it in the children's bedroom, or I can give it away to charity, or I can use it somewhere else in the house, and that means that I'll have two trees. And it also has a nice branch at the top for putting on a star. Really, really love it. And one more thing. I also have a second Christmas tree, but before we get to it, let's look at the packaging for all of this. My tree came in this box, and the decoration, I store it in this plastic bag. And then I also kept the box for a standing star silhouette. And as you can see, this is extremely compact. Like, this is the size of a human adult leg. So you can fit this almost anywhere, under the bed, inside a wardrobe, tuck it into the corners there, put it up in the attic without needing anyone's help. So storage is really key here. It's so easy to put away and it doesn't eat up a lot of space in your house. You can even squeeze this into maybe a cabinet under the sink because it's all that compact. And then I have this, which is almost like another Christmas tree because, as you can see here, there's no space for more gifts. So I've created this fake Christmas tree, which is basically the star silhouette. And it has a switch here. It's battery powered, so no cables dangling from it. And yeah, I've put it on a table. So I have a nest of tables that come with 3 of these brown wooden ones. So I've used one to basically create this fake tree. And I also have an elf, really nice elf. It's soft, so it adds a bit of texture to the room as well. And just like I did with a real Christmas tree, I've used lots of tinsels. I've used wrapping paper that matches my theme, and I've put a lot of the gifts at the base. Again, it just gives the whole area a lot more presence. And I bought lots of tinsels. Like, as you can see, tinsel, 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 tinsel. I can already tell you now, if you're struggling for what decoration to buy lots and lots of tinsels. It's very versatile. It's easy to store away. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And it's also not fragile, because the last thing you want to do is to buy nice Christmas decoration that will then basically break when you squeeze it and shove it into a wardrobe. And again, I've added more coins here that the kids can eat on Christmas Day. And more of the shiny paper. As you can see, it's very, very shiny. And you only need 1 or 2 gifts to be in that shiny paper. Like, that's actually enough. And yeah, nothing here needs to be plugged in. I also have these lights. They are battery powered. And it all looks very, very good. I'm really happy with that. And this is a great example of how you can, decorate for Christmas without needing a massive tree, but simply getting creative with tinsel, the height of objects. Like, again, here with the star silhouette, I've given it presence by putting it up on a tiny table. And also, the good thing about using the gifts as the decoration is that the gifts don't need to be stored. Once the gifts are open, they are going to be played with, because sometimes one of the mental barriers to getting more decoration is basically the storage part. But here, I've used all the gifts as the store as a decoration, but that does mean that you should ideally buy the gifts early, wrap them up, and start putting them under the tree and putting them around the house, so that they can start to add to the atmosphere, which is really great. And if I want, I can even take a couple of these gifts, put them somewhere else in the house, add some tinsel, and then there will be another area with with Christmas decorations. So now I almost feel like I prefer having two Christmas trees rather than one. And lastly, I can show you what the tree looks like without the lights on. See? Lovely, lovely color. I love this teal color. It's really, really cool. But one golden tip as well. If you see tinsel of a unique color that you love, try buying more than you think you need. Because I bought this tree last year and the tinsel as well. And this year, they don't have this color tinsel in the store. So if you want a white and blue tree, the tinsel that they have, it's this one, which is light blue. As you can see, it doesn't quite match with the tinsel on the elf. So if you do see a color that you really love, just buy a couple of extras just in case you need a bit more in the following year, but might not find some in the store. And thank you all for watching. Have a nice Christmas.